Good morning, it's 10 a.m. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Would you please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you and welcome guests. First item we'll have is adoption of the agenda. Any changes before we do so?
No.
Seeing none, we've all had a chance to look at it. Do I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'll restate the agenda items. We'll have public input on non-agenda items. We have several items on the consent agenda. On unfinished business, we'll have an update on the status of the merger bill in Tallahassee. New business, we'll have a presentation and adoption of the annual financial audit for the last year, of course. And then second item is a purchase of a replacement heart rate monitor. Chief will make remarks. I don't think we'll have attorney remarks unless there's something. Okay. And then commissioners, and then we will adjourn. At this time, is there any public input on non-agenda items? Seeing none, we will move right along. Consent agenda. We have meeting minutes, general fund checks, and corrected meeting minutes. Discussion or questions? Anybody? Seeing none, do I have a motion to adopt the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second?
I'll second that as well.
Discussion, questions, public input? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, moving right along, unfinished business. Chief, update on the merger bill.
Yes, thank you. So, as you know, local delegation meeting where Representative Otana brought up the merger bill, pretty much same bill as last year, to merge us into, dissolve the district and turn it over to Anna McGregor. At that time, the study had not been completed, the one that we had done with Anna McGregor. Shortly after that meeting, the study was completed and information was prepared and presented. Met with Representative Otana, talked with some of the other representatives and Senator Martin. Regardless of all of that, the bill has moved through the House, moved through committees without any discussion, unanimous consent, and has moved through the Senate. So it now sits on the governor's desk. So we're attempting to have those conversations, but for all practical purposes, it probably will be on the ballot in November, and it will be for the taxpayers of Fort Myers Beach and Iona to decide.
Interesting. Any comments, discussion, questions? I think we all feel the same way. It's to look at a proposal that's going to cost the taxpayers more money overall, and we're going to lose services. It's disappointing to see it has moved as far as it has.
Yes.
I would hope the governor takes a second look at it
Yes.
and makes the right call. And if it does end up on the ballot, it will be our job to have the information available to our constituents to make a wise decision. And that'll be all the facts that are in that summary that we have, the executive summary would be probably a good start. Officially, I know we can't do anything as far as advocating for or against, but individually, within our circles, of course, we can use our influence where we can and answer any questions when they come up.
Yeah, we're getting guidance to make sure that we follow the letter of the law. Make sure we don't break any of the rules. So it is encouraging. We've had some of the folks in the community who believed they were for the merger in the original survey, still believed that in the follow-up survey that we did after the study came out. I've had the opportunity to meet with these folks and talk to them and explain the nuts and bolts and show them anything they wanted to see. And I think they came out of the meeting and the discussions as advocates for our position. So appreciated the understanding. These were financial people who get it. So I think once presented with the details, people who might think that it's a good idea understand. Financially, it doesn't appear that way.
Right.
So.
Right. Anything else?
It just doesn't seem to make a lot of sense.
I would agree.
It speaks poorly to the legislative body that doesn't listen to its constituents. So I think people ought to, watching, listening, should remember this come election time.
I mean,
When you,
that is kind of the upside that, you know, when we started this a few years back, that it was just going to be imposed. It wasn't going
Yeah.
to vote.
They're not
So,
listening.
Yeah, I'm glad it's going to our voters to make
Mm-hmm.
the decision, both districts. You know, what they decide is their decision. You know, they're our friends and neighbors on both sides. And,
Well, I would find it difficult to believe that an informed electorate would vote to raise taxes on themselves when it's not necessary.
and lose services.
And lose
Because
services.
we'll lose our transport.
Right.
Yeah, it's confusing. And makes no sense to common sense. All right, if there's nothing else, we'll move on to the next item, which is new business, which will be the first item, presentation and adoption of the annual financial audit.
And as always, I'll turn it over to Jane. Thank you, Jane.
Morning, Commissioners. Chief,
One.
honored guest.
Yeah.
It bears saying again this year how much, we appreciate the auditors and their ability to come in and be very proficient and effective at what they do. And their job is, to make sure that we're doing our job, and our fiscal responsibility to the taxpayers. So with that, I'll introduce Teresa DaCosta and Jeff Brown, partners with Ashley Brown and Smith, CPAs. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good
morning.
Thank you for having Jeff and I here to present the financial statements. A little bit about me before I begin is I've been with the firm for over 10 years, and I've been a partner at the firm for a little over 3 years. And I've been a member of the audit team for the district the entire time that I've been with the firm. So as I go through, if you have any questions, feel free to stop me and ask them or ask for clarification. Starting off on page 1 is our independent auditor's report. It states that we have audited the accompanying financial statements of the district as of and for the year ended September 30, 2025. And in our opinion, the financial statements present fairly in all material respects the financial position of the district as of September 30th, 2025. This is what we like to call a unmodified or a clean opinion. And we would not have been able to issue this opinion without if it wasn't for all of Jane's hard work and dedication for the audit. So thank you very much. And then the next section is the management discussion and analysis that begins on page 4. This gives readers additional information of the financial position as it relates to fiscal year 25. Page 5 is the summary of net position. Some numbers to notate include that total assets increased by $4,256,991 in fiscal year 25 compared to 24, and total liabilities decreased by $4,745,448, which resulted in the net position increasing by $8,968,366. And then on page 6 is the summary of revenues, expenses, and changes in net position. This shows that total revenues increased by $2,767,093, or 15.9%, whereas total expenses only increased by $934,000, or 9.1%. And ad valorem tax revenue increased by $4,071,050, or 41% over fiscal year 24. Then starting on page 12 is our government-wide financial statements. These are similar to a typical business's balance sheet and income statement. Some accounts to notate include that the cash and investment accounts combined are $32,205,731, and total capital assets is $20,906,605, which includes construction progress of $4.5 million for the rebuilding of Station 31. Under the current liability section, unearned revenue, which is the unused portion of the grant that is going to be used to finance the construction of Station 31, and it sits at $4,432,532. And then the total net position is $508,366, which $12,075,455 is unrestricted and available to be used for future purposes. On the next page, 13, statement of activities. There was a $8,968,366 increase in net position, which reflects a strong operating performance of the district for fiscal year 25. On the next page, 14, starts our fund financial statements, which focuses on the current year activities of the individual funds. One thing to notate is that the general fund had total fund balance of $26,436,075, of which $5,360,841 is unassigned and can be used for future purposes. And then on page 16, statement of revenues, expenditures, and changes in fund balance. A few things to notate on the general fund. Ad valorem taxes was $13,106,111. Interest revenue was $1.1 million. Proceeds from the sale of the old Station 31 was $540,000, and expenditures were $13,322,936, which meant that there was an increase of $2,694,892 in fund balance. And then on the capital projects side, there was the district recognized $4,187,648 of state grant revenue, and then the expenses were comparable to that for the construction of Station 31. Then on page 18 is the statement of fiduciary net position for the VIVA plan. This states that cash and investments totaled $1,479,922, and there was $1,477,332 held in trust for VIVA retirees' health insurance benefits. And then on page 19, a statement of changes in fiduciary net position. It states that the net position increased by $102,185 in fiscal year 25. Then starting on page 20 is the notes to the financial statements. This gives readers an additional overview over information that's included in the statements. I'm not going to go through the individual ones, but the information's there to give you more information. The next page will be page 51, the budget and actual for the general fund. Revenues had a favorable variance of $1,630,514 when compared to the final budget. And then total expenditures, excluding reserves, had a favorable variance of $3,857,964, which is great. And then on page 55 is the budget and actuals for the capital projects fund. This one, the budgeted revenues equal actual revenues, and that there was a favorable expenditure variance of $8,938 excluding reserves. And then pages 56 through 61 are the schedules for the pension and OPEB plans. And then on page 62 is the independent auditor's report on internal control over financial reporting. This states that during our audit, we did not identify any deficiencies in internal control that we consider to be a material weakness. And it goes on to say that the results of our test disclose no instances of noncompliance or other matters that are required to be reported under government auditing standards. And then next page is the single audit report. So when an entity receives over $750,000 in grant revenue, or I should say, expenses over $750,000 in grant revenue in any particular year, they have to have a single audit. So this next section is our report and then additional information about the single audit. So the independent auditor's report states that, in our opinion, the district complied in all material respects with the requirements that are applicable to its major state project for the fiscal year ended September 30, 2025. So this is an unmodified or clean opinion. Then pages 67 through 70 gives readers additional information about the grant and our audit on that section. And then on page 70 is our management letter. It states that there was no audit findings, recommendations, or other required disclosures identified during the audit. And last but not least is our independent accountant's examination report on page 74. It states that the district complied with the Florida statute regarding investment of public funds during the year ended September 30, 2025. And is there any questions?
Anybody? Question?
I don't have any questions, but thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's outstanding job. Again, the service that your firm provides is invaluable to the taxpayers and us as a board. To know that Jane is in excellence as always with her accounting is it astounds me every year to look at her work in this review. To not have any deficiencies speaks volumes of her talent and experience.
Definitely, yes.
Chief, would you like to?
I'll just say thank you both, and, you know, to the whole firm for your work and double checking us and making sure, you know, we're not missing anything. So appreciate the work you do and appreciate you being here today. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And as always, to Jane. Couldn't do it without her.
Jane, Jane the
Couldn't do it
magician.
without her. Yeah, just, you know, if there was ever a definition of a key employee, Jane would be it, be her picture. So thank you.
Retention
everybody.
forever for Jane.
Yes. No.
Hanging on to her like grim death.
Right. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you both.
All right, at this time, if there's nothing else, somebody needs to make a motion to adopt the audited financial statement for year end September 30, 2025.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Discussion?
None.
Questions? Public input? All in favor?
Aye.
Passes 5-0. Thank you very much. Takes us to our next item, sir, which is heart rate monitor.
Thank you, Commissioner. So this is for the replacement of one of the heart rate monitors. Remember back before the storm, we had replaced all the heart monitors. We had one of them that was on the vehicle when we were trying to get to the structure fire during the high water. That monitor in the compartment was exposed and unable to be fixed. So Chief Krause did do a good job of working with Zoll to get us a refurbished model, a like new refurbished model, which saved a considerable amount of money over what the retail price is today. So what you have before you is the replacement of that heart monitor from Zoll in the amount of $28,898.13.
What does a new one cost, just for
They're about $37,000.
good night?
Were we able to recoup anything on insurance?
We weren't on that one because of the nature of the call we were running on. So it was that
First responding.
calculated risk. Yeah. So yeah, we weren't. So this one's on us.
Do we have a motion to approve the purchase of one Zoll cardiac heart monitor in the amount of $28,898.13?
I'll make it.
All right, I'll second.
All right, discussion. Questions? Public input? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you again, sir. Good work on the savings there as well.
Yeah, I'll pass that on
Big stuff.
for sure.
All right, takes us to Fire Chief remarks.
Very good. Thank you. So it's a it's a busy time and an exciting time. We have a lot of good things happening, so first thing I want to start with is congratulating our two newest lieutenants, Lieutenant Joel Martinez and Lieutenant Ivan Rojo. So we had 4 people testing for the officer spot, and if you remember back some time ago when we were dealing with bottlenecks, 2 of those 4 were firefighters who had done their development, become acting officers. So of our 2 people promoted, one was a driver and one was a firefighter, came from the firefighter ranks. So I know those guys are going to do a great job, and we have Engineer Paul Russell and firefighter Keith Gaudet are on the lieutenant list if we should have a vacancy in the next 2 years. So everybody did a great job. Ivan and Joel rose to the top, and glad to have them in the seat. So we're currently working on, it started yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We have 7 folks testing for driver engineer. So they started with their written test yesterday and some driving, and they're continuing it today and tomorrow. So by the time we come back next time, next meeting is a night meeting, and we will have some finnings. We will have some, we'll recognize our new folks. We've got a group of people, our second wave, who's finished orientation for firefighters. So everything's coming together for the fire station getting ready to reopen.
How many more spaces do you have to fill for the new station still?
We have about 6 more firefighter spots. We have enough people on board to get the station open. Those 6 firefighter spots will minimize how much overtime people have to work. Well, we have people off on vacation. So, and we're in the process. We're collecting applications, and we're getting good turnout. We're actually getting some good feedback, and we got a couple of the folks who had tried different agencies, possibly looking to come back home. So, yeah, it's a positive note. So we'll see if that happens or not. One of the other things we've done with the addition of Chief Sullivan, Chief Sears, with the promotions that just happened, shortly after we knew who it was going to be, they worked hard to put together an officer academy. So we ran a comprehensive company officer academy to help the guys get started on the right foot. Things like, this is what your day looks like, to running an emergency incident, to dealing with personnel conflict issues, stuff like that. So great job to them and everybody who assisted with that. And the other thing is, with the 2 hiring groups we did, really reached out. They both really reached out to the floor and said, we want you to train these new folks. So there's been a lot of volunteerism with getting our new folks oriented, because we've had them on 40-hour weeks. So to all of our staff that's been stepping up and volunteering, thank you to all of them for making it possible and making it a success. Staying on that for a minute, recently, so was it last week, Live Burns? Yeah, it was last week. So Chief Sears and the guys all went to the City of Fort Myers new training center on Veronica Shoemaker and helped break in the new training center by doing live fire with our new folks. So we've got a cache of live fire instructors in our organization. I do want to thank City of Fort Myers, because they provided 5 additional folks, some of them on overtime, to assist us and make sure that facility was doing everything we needed it to do. So thank you to the city for their partnership on that. But had a good, successful live fire event. And similar to what we had on Pearl Street, 71 Miramar, right by the bike shop. We'll be doing a live fire training in that house. It's slated for demolition. And April 7th, 8th, and 9th, we will be there on site doing some live fires within the building, controlled environment.
Make sure we broadcast that a
Yeah.
little heavier than
Yeah.
our last
so-
evolution,
yeah.
so people don't worry.
And then excited to say, a few months back when you guys approved us to buy the drone dock, yesterday was the install of the dock on the fire station. and made some maiden flights under the expert guidance of the Skydio staff. But the drone made it down to Lover's Key and back, with 25–30% battery left. So that program is getting up and running. We'll be getting our training, and maybe by the next meeting we'll have some demos that we can share with you. So that's coming along nicely. We have the open house on April 2nd. We were hoping to be moved in a week ago, but as construction projects go, we're rolling in the front door and pushing the contractors out the back door.
Okay.
So not uncommon, but we're going to be ready. We're going to have a nice open house, and look forward to seeing everybody there. That invite is open. We hope to see the public, so we're going to do a short grand opening ceremony, a coupling of the hose and whatnot, and then the rest of the morning will be giving tours of the stations and general open house. So we're looking forward to that. And then finally, we got some anniversaries. So for February, Engineer Andy Vila has 20 years of service. Engineer Tate Sturdivant also has 20 years of service. Firefighter Laser Hermes has 10 years. Paul Montenegro with 9 years. Jennifer Campbell has 7 years already. Chris Cox, 6 years. And then for March, Craig Kaufman with 4 years of service. Thank you, Craig. So that's my report.
Settle down.
Chief, when do you hope to start running out of there?
We're going to shoot. We were shooting for Friday. I think we're going to push it to Monday, just because we got a bunch of stuff coming this week, but we're just going to wait till Monday. We have the temporary fire station where the ambulance is housed until end of day Tuesday, 31st. So but we're looking to start running out of there on Monday. We're pretty much ready to go. The radios are in. Craig's been working hard with the IT folks, and we're there. Got the last bit of furniture coming this week.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good job. Takes us down to commissioner remarks. Any volunteers for going first?
I'll go, get out of the way. Thank you to the auditors. Thank you, Jane, for a great financial report. Always boggles my mind how you can look at all those numbers and come out without your eyes crossed at the end, but yeah. But you did a great job, so thank you so much on that. Just thank you to all of the team. We've been hearing the ambulances and the fire trucks go, not as much as a normal season, which is probably a good thing, even though we're as busy as what we're calling a normal season now. So the island's full, and clearly they're doing a great job taking care of everybody. So looking forward to the new station, and I think that's about it. It's been kind of a quiet few weeks, even though it's been super busy on the island.
Yeah.
Mr. Farrell?
I pretty much echo Commissioner Lezak's remarks. Thank you to the accounting firm. Congratulations on the promotions
Yes.
to members of the department. That's awesome. Glad to hear that. And I can't wait till next Thursday.
It'll be fun. Jim?
Once again, congratulations to the newly promoted. That's a big step in their life and a big step forward for this organization. And it kind of leads into just listening to all of the things that we've been doing in the past months. It's a sense of, the organization just maturing out and being exceptionally professional and moving forward with the expertise and the professionalism that you would expect of a well-performing fire department. And I find it rewarding. We've been through so much chaos in the last couple of years to see us settling into what I would call just outstanding direction and performance on the part of the management of the organization and of the firefighters and staff all over to make things happen. Like the audit today just was flawless, and all the things that the new chiefs are leading us on. It's just it's very rewarding to see, and I think the people of this island while they don't have a sense of understanding of all of that, I think they have a sense of feeling safe. They should feel safe with this department on their backs behind them, so. That's all I have to say.
Commissioner Fleming?
Everything Jim said. But really, thank you, Jane, for the audit. It's nice to know that you know what's going on as far as the money goes. Congratulations to the people that are promoted, our new hires. Looking forward to one with a full staff. As to the merger, I just decided to say nothing, you know. So you all know how.
Oh, yeah.
I think we all feel the same.
Yes.
We do.
It's
So
no
thank you,
secret.
Chief, you know, and everybody. Everybody's outstanding.
It's been a good job.
If you haven't been in the station, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's impressive. Thank you, sir. I'll close it up. Again, I hear all the other comments that have made. Jane, you know, I've said it 1,000 times, but an outstanding job. Your excellence and your duties are unmatched, in my opinion. It takes a good team to do that, but it also
Yes.
takes somebody at the wheel steering the team, and that's something you've excelled at since I've been exposed to the district for the last 7+ years. The audit proves that every year. Normally when you hear audit, it's a concerning word. And here, it's comforting. It's one of those like, oh, the audit's coming. I can't wait to see how well we did this year. There reaches a point where like, could it have been any better than what we received? And I don't know the standard that exists that, other than a clean audit with,
It's a
meeting
reflection
all the
of the
guidelines.
administrative team.
It is. It's
Yeah.
outstanding. Congratulations to our new lieutenants, our new hires. Exciting to hear that we may have some personnel interested in coming back that have gone elsewhere over the last several years. In my knowledge, anyway, that is that a first for us or a rarity?
No, we recently had Oscar Gonzalez,
Oh, that's right.
came back.
So, yeah, again, that's a positive indication of where the district's going, and the leadership and the training and everything else. And Jim said it, and Ron did as well. I feel like, at least when I started, being exposed to that part of our job, we were doing a good job, but I wouldn't say we were excelling. We did enough to meet the standards and to keep our people safe and to have them trained up in the places that they should be and the knowledge that they should have. But now it seems to have stepped up to, again, a level of excellence where we have motivated trainers and we have motivated employees, and to see folks that are excited to train is always good. And I encourage the other commissioners, I know Ron has, but if you get a chance to go out and watch an evolution one day, it really is, it's nice to see. I mean, it's nice to see the equipment and the people, and to realize the job they do is so complex, depending on what the call is that they're responding to. That toolbox that they drive around can answer just about any problems. It's impressive. I had a good feedback from a neighbor who visited a couple of the stations in search of calendars, but was very complimentary on the personnel and the reception, and they took photos and did everything else. But again, pass them on to the folks that, job well done, that the community members who were making positive comments, and that's always a good thing. Chief and I met with a local group last week. I won't get into it too deep, but if you have questions, you can speak with them about it. To me, it was exciting because it's a proposal on a public-private partnership for development on our property for medical center. And there's some possibilities there. There's still some research to be done, but again, it's that kind of thinking outside of the box that will continue to move us forward and helping the community and solving a couple of issues. But this may or may not happen down the road. It'll be up to us if they come to present at a later date. But it's encouraging to see that kind of interest from the community. It's a good thing. Unless anybody has anything else. Commissioner Wood, anything, sir?
You said it all.
Thank you for being here. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right. This meeting's adjourned. Thank you.